As an ally, you listen. Here's another verb that requires intentionality. Truly listening isn't dependent on the speaker's credibility or position, but it's about listening to what others have to say, regardless of their age, gender, or race. You might think of listening as something you passively do when someone's talking. That's not what I mean. The listening I'm talking about is active and requires energy. It is more than just hearing. Listening is a valuable and intentional act. When you genuinely listen to another person, you make them feel heard. You build trust and respect. There are two intentional purposes behind an ally who listens. Allies listen to connect, which requires focus, being fully present to the other person, and responding with sincerity, empathy, a refusal to interrupt, and a genuine value for the other person's experience. Listening means you quiet the chatter in your head. You make eye contact and actively seek to listen to all the other person is communicating, both the spoken and unspoken communication, such as tone and body language. Allies listen for understanding. They don't just listen to respond or listen to solve, which is a temptation we can all fall into. Allies listen because the other person's communication is valuable. Now let's be honest, staying curious takes work, but allies see the necessity of asking questions to really learn and understand. Allies work at being curious. The questions they ask are not to challenge the other person's credibility or undermine them, but to engage and understand. So some of us are good at listening to understand, and others of us can struggle. Here are some tools to help you gain a deeper understanding. Number 1, tell me more. These 3 words can unlock greater understanding by validating the speaker and drawing out their thoughts and feelings. Number 2, reflective listening is just repeating back what you have understood, but it's key to making the speaker feel heard. Number 3, how can I help? This question will help you uncover expectations and desired actions of the speaker. Truly listening this way is not something you can take for granted. I know that every time I enter into a conversation, I have to actively take steps to quiet my mind, stay present, and stay curious in order to be able to process what I'm hearing and stay in it until I reach understanding. Listening is what an ally of my friend Neve Coleman did. Here's her story. Some years ago, I was participating in an executive leadership meeting with a Fortune 500 company. The meeting had 80% male participation with 20% female participation, and the men at the meeting were all senior level executives. I was the lone European in the room. In the course of informal conversation before we started the meeting, the topic of education came up, and we went around the room and team members spoke of their education levels and colleges. When it got to me, I mentioned that I had studied my primary degree in European Studies and Languages at the University of Limerick. With the mention of Limerick, some sniggering ensued, with anecdotes about 5-line poems and leprechauns. The reality is that the University of Limerick is a very highly regarded university in Ireland, with its graduates having some of the highest employment rates post-graduation, as it's an institution that balances the theory and practice so that its graduates are ready to work on graduation. As I was fake laughing along with the Irish jokes, the most senior male leader in the room stepped in. He talked about his experience of working with University of Limerick graduates and about how impressed he is at their caliber. This was an authentic comment, but also he read the room and was not okay with how the tone had switched. With his comment, the meeting participants did a complete 180, and my alma mater was set in their minds as something to be impressed with, not something to joke about. Neve's ally listened not only to what was said, but also to what was unsaid. He saw my friend and he spoke up, affirming her value and her experience. This is a great example of an ally advocating and listening, but even more, it is an example of great leadership. Every leader needs to be a good listener. No, a great listener, because so much of leading well is dependent on connecting with your people and understanding the different perspectives of those on your teams.